was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt cool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we are back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm Wes. This guy is David. And David, it looks like you're into some board games now. You're into some gaming.
I'm in a dungeon. Okay? Wait a minute. I gotta remember. What's the name of this thing again? Warhammer. I'm in a Warhammer.
David
dungeon.
is all about the Warhammer now. He's
So apparently, it's the cool thing to do. I happen to know that Superman himself plays Warhammer.
Henry Cavill is a big Warhammer fan. Actually,
Yeah.
there are rumors that he is going to play a lead role in the Warhammer movie they're making.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So
somebody who's really into it definitely brings a lot to something. Now, I don't know much about it. All I know is I'm actually in my brother's house.
Sure.
And I'm down in his basement, and this is his playland. And I'm on a table that has a grid, and there's like little half walls, and these you can't see them. You can't.
Oh yeah, we can see the little figurines. Up on the shelf.
All these figurines. You've got some of them that are painted up over here. He calls them his Skittles or something like that. He diddles his Skittle or something. I don't know.
I don't. It's not that kind of show, but it sounds fun.
That's what his OnlyFans is going to be. Diddling the Skittle.
Diddling the Skittle. Yikes. Well, look. There is something to be said about Games Workshop, the company that owns Warhammer. They've had a little bit of controversy recently. Uh-oh, we dropped David. David's gone. We lost David on Skype. So, David, I'm still seeing that you're on Skype. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. I just come up and said you're on hold.
Weird. Hold on. Now your camera's all jacked up. 1 second, let me fix
it. Here we go. Let me zoom in.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know what happened.
That was weird.
So, usually it is Wes who complains about Skype's updates.
I hate Skype.
Well, I get to do it today because as I was running behind because I was outside smoking a cigar and getting bourbon ready. So there was a lot to do.
Like you do,
right?
Yeah.
So I was as you do. And I'm getting ready, and I get down here, and I get everything finally set up, and I click the button Skype, and it's like, all right, it gives me the list of the calls and everything. So I go to push the button to get in the call, and it's like, you know what? Today's the day, bud. I need you to log back in. And so it starts to log. It logs me back in.
Yeah.
But then it comes up and says, you know what? I don't recognize that email.
Of course.
That email doesn't have an account assigned with. That's not a username.
Yep, every time.
So I type exactly the same thing in. It's like, all right, cool. We'll let it go this time.
Yeah.
So then I put a password in. No, it's not the right password, man. All right. I'm gonna go to this other password because I did have to change it.
Yeah.
So I put the other password in, and it's like, no, bro, you're still not right.
Skype.
So then I go back to the original password. It's like, you know what? We're going to let it go this one time. And it finally let me log in. And I'm like pushing buttons frantically over here, trying to get logged in because it was 8:01
right
when I was trying to get this thing going. I was like, and I know if we miss a window, we're offset by 15 minutes. We've got to wait
another 15 minutes
for launch cycles. So
yep.
I was like, in a frantic over here trying to get this thing going. So Wes,
they do that.
Drinking over there tonight,
well, so last week I had the Great Lakes Christmas Ale because why not have a Christmas Ale in May and June? But John Calendar said that 12 Dogs of Christmas is actually the superior Christmas ale from the same head brewer. So I thought I'd break out more Christmas beer. So I got 12 dogs. 12 dogs of
Okay.
Christmas. And John's right.
So
It
just out
is
of
actually better.
curiosity,
What's that?
I think you're both wrong. Did you have that beer, or did you have to go get?
No, I literally had it.
Yeah.
I have so much beer I need to get through. Most of it's holiday beer. So yeah.
Yeah, holidays interfering with your beer drinking. That's an issue, man. You need to do something about that.
Or it's enabling me to drink even more. So I have just like this huge backlog of beer that I need to get through still. What are you drinking, David?
Well, I've got an empty glass.
You're in the Games Workshop. You gotta have like mead out of a big
no.
horn, ale horn.
Bring me some mead. Bring me some mead and put it in a horn.
I'll bet he has it. I have an ale horn. Yeah.
Fucking does.
See, I told you.
He does. He makes his own mead too.
He makes his own mead. That's
Don't
awesome.
Bring me the mead you make. I think if he brings me mead he made, it's gonna be like 99% rubbing alcohol.
Dude,
or something.
if he actually makes mead, bring me some. I love mead. I want to try it.
Yeah, he does.
Bring me some.
So do you remember my first encounter with mead?
Mm-hmm.
So
I do.
We're for those of you at home, we're at a place called the Crafty Pint. Back when it was super cool and ran well, and they come out the table and they're like, "Hey, what's this?" And I see a mead. I'm like, I'm thinking.
You were thinking, yeah,
wooden tankard, a big foamy whatever.
Right, and the
drink,
beer
right?
the beer wench, the bar wench would bring you the tankard of mead. Yeah.
yeah. So they do that, and it comes out exactly like that, except not.
Not at all.
They bring out this little teeny tiny
this,
little cup with a stem, and it's this little honey.
Yeah, it was this cute little petite, kind of one of these.
Just like that right there. That's it.
And it was filled up like
like
a fraction of the way.
Yes,
that was your mead.
And I gave it to West. I literally gave it to West and had something else.
Disappointed.
It's like, I don't know what this is. I was thinking, just thinking, mead, but apparently I didn't know what mead was. So
mead and mead can be good, but it can also kick your ass if you drink too much of it too fast. Because it's basically like moonshine made from honey. But
okay.
I mean the good mead. But there's other meads that are like wine strength that locally here there's a place called Brothers Drake, and they serve mead basically like beer. So you just get like a pint glass of mead. Like
the Brothers Grimm, I like it.
And it's a pretty cool place, Brothers Drake. It's a good place. But it hasn't really since.
While I'm waiting on my beer wench,
yeah.
I've got a good old Eagle Rare stand.
Your cute little bottle of Eagle Rare. It's adorable.
No, this is a full size bottle of
Eagle Rare. It's just in your hand. It looks like a tiny little bottle because you have the.
In my hand, it looks like a tiny little bottle.
Yeah.
No, this is a full size bottle of Eagle Rare, and he's back. I'll be damned. He actually did.
That's good service. That's quick.
That was good. All right. So do I just drink this?
Oh, David actually has a horn of mead.
Wow.
Let's see. Hey, ask him if he made this.
I'm very horny tonight. Look at that. Very horny.
Not that kind of show.
Look at that. Not the kind of show. We were at a Mexican place getting tacos at a place called Cheeks. I walked in the door clapping my hands. Nobody got the joke.
Yeah, no. How is it?
I almost said something bad. That's dangerous. Okay.
Is it strong?
So you could drink a lot of that quick.
Yeah.
And is this alcohol? Are you sure you just give me apple juice or something? I mean, because I could.
Did he make this? Is this his mead?
I could bang this back. And so is this one you made or the one you got last night? Okay, so this is and you said this was a halfway decent bottle of mead, right? Oh, nice. Grab a chair at least over here. So I don't have to keep turning that far to talk to you. So I got and there's no convenient way, so I have to drink all of it.
So he bought this mead. This is not one that he made?
So this is one he bought last night. What's it called? Chaucer's, like the poet. Like the poet.
Well, so it...
Open your Chaucer's to page 7.
Right, so it's a great read, but it doesn't know how to spell. I understand. I get it.
It's a great read, but it doesn't know how to spell. You should put that thing in so you can hear what you say.
I'm actually very entertaining. Now, here's the only problem with an ale horn. Unless you have like a specialized place to put it, you can't set it down.
Yeah. I think there needs to be like a hole in the corner of the table.
Right.
Slide the horny part.
You need a horn hole on your table. I get it.
Yeah, you need a horn hole on your table, Joe. Oh, he has a horn mount. He almost said I have a horn hole, and he realized very quickly that was not the not what he actually wanted to say to us.
Well, I'm glad he mounts his horn properly. That's
So out of curiosity, Wes, can you hear Joe?
a little bit like in the background.
Okay, I didn't know because I've got this one piece. I got the earpiece in over here.
Yeah. Well, I know you're deaf.
And
so.
Yeah, the other side, the other part's never been used. So
much like your horn hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know what happened here.
Nope. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Well, whatever. Okay. So as I'm drinking my horny goat mead here, what? So okay. So walk me through how is mead different than, let's say, bourbon?
Oh, you want me to answer or him?
I mean, one of you.
All right.
The easy answer is bourbon's distilled.
Distilled. Right. Okay. So how is mead made? Is it fermented?
Fermented.
It's very, very much like beer.
I like beer.
It's a wine. It's a wine.
Okay.
So it's fermented like a beer or a wine, but you can also you can actually distill it. I've had distilled mead before, and it still has that kind of like honey-ish back note to it, but it's pretty tasty, and it'll kick your ass.
Dude, I could drink if I was feeling stupid and didn't know, I would have drank this down in one drink.
Yeah. Well,
it's quite tasty.
Now that you know you like mead, we got to do a show from Brothers Drake.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, the Chaucer's comes with spice packets.
Oh, there's a spice packet.
That gives it it's got orange peel, cinnamon, clove, a few other almost.
So he's brought the spice packet that goes in your beer at brewing that you put in afterwards. And
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So when I get it, I drop the packets in the bottle and then put the lid back in the bottle. I let it sit for a day, just to kind of
let it mature.
Yeah,
let it mature. Okay. I'm very mature as I'm drinking from a horn here.
That's you look mature.
Myself, add it when you rack it. You got the sugar and sweet.
Okay.
Well, now I'm jealous. I got to go get my ale horn, and we can.
Yeah.
I was going to expound on that thought, but I decided halfway through I should not say what I was going to say. No, it's.
I'm actually very curious about what you were going to say.
Don't say you're curious while you're holding your horn in front of me.
Hey, stop looking at my horn like that. For those of you guys tuning in, that's how the show has gone off the rails very quickly. What are we? We are just a few minutes. I don't even know.
Right now we are
just a few minutes in.
16 and a half minutes in. And this is also why last week we never actually got to the main topic. So we might actually get to the main topic today.
So I asked him on the pre-up as we're doing the countdown. So Wes, did you send me an agenda? I think I sent it to you last week. We just never got to it.
Right. Yeah, we spent half the show talking about science fiction and quantum physics.
Oh, on that note, not to take
I do actually have some quantum entanglement news in the news today.
Did you? Is it that they can decouple? They've discovered they can decouple quantum entanglement.
Well, it's sort of related. It might be entangled to that topic.
What do you got?
It's close. All right, so I guess we'll start with that one then. I do have a little bit of news here. Let's go ahead and start with that. It's interesting. Go ahead and get this pulled up here. All right.
That bourbon is going to be a lot more bourbony after drinking this honey mead.
All right. Scientists say that quantum internet milestone takes entanglement out of the lab and into the cities. Basically, what they're doing is they're creating a quantum computer network that uses entangled particles within. Are you okay over there?
Oh, dude, I'm holding the horn, drinking mead.
There you go.
Come on, man.
It uses quantum entanglement in different sections of this network, so that you can have not only quantum computer level encryption in real time, encryption and decryption, but also real time communication, zero lag, regardless of the amounts of data that you send. That's what they're working on.
Think about how badass somebody could be at Call of Duty using that.
Well, no, actually, here's
I was grasping at straws about video.
No,
I don't play a lot of video games.
Here's what I was thinking. Remember all the dumbass promises they made about 5G? aside from the fact that it'll give you cancer or something.
Well, and 4G and 3G.
Right. This could actually possibly do it because it's supposed to, just like 5G was supposed to. This is supposed to have seamless real-time communications because it uses quantum entanglement between two locations.
Yeah, quantum coupling,
and also, it's going to be seamless regardless of the amount of data that's sent through at any given time. Can you imagine? That's insane. That's just bonkers.
We can no longer
that blows my
say,
mind.
I don't have the bandwidth.
Right. It's. I mean, you don't have the qubits. I don't know. We'll have to come up with new weird officisms for that.
Yeah, new.
But this is something they're actually testing right now.
We should be the people in charge of making those up, and we should make them absolutely ridiculous. That way, all those jackwings that try to torture them in just sound like
No, you know who they're
mega idiots.
You know who they're going to give it to? They're going to give it to the same guy who insisted on us all now using the word dongle. They're going to give it to that guy.
Hey. Well, we're starting to move away from the dongle now.
Yeah, because everybody hates
internal
dongles.
Encryption.
Everybody hates.
Well, I mean,
dongles.
It was fun to say, "Hey, I need to update my dongle."
Well, so
my wife is not happy when I say that to her, but
he'll name something on the quantum internet like floppy wang. Hey, you get that floppy wang for me? It'll be something along those lines because that's just what they seem to do, just to screw with people. I'm convinced they do it just to screw with people.
Today's sponsor of the show is Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. I don't know what that means.
It was a tie into the floppy wang part.
Got it. Maybe it's a good thing I don't know what that means. Then I'm going to stay out of that. I don't. I'm not even going to Google that. We'll save that one for later. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's sort of quantum entanglement connected in the news there.
Yeah. So I seen that, but it was the decoupling that really got me. I was like, wow, that's we if we prove it one way, that means we can do it the other way.
Right.
And of course, poor Nikki sitting next to me, and I'm just spouting all this stuff. And Noah walks in, and I'm on the couch reading this stuff off to her, and he looks over. He says, "I think he's just making shit up over there." Did any of that make sense to you? And she's like, "I haven't listened to." So this Saturday would be our 10-year anniversary for my current wife and I. But she stopped listening to me about 3 days after the wedding, and
don't they all?
Since then, I've just been, Charlie Brown's teacher.
I get it. Well, no woman actually wants to hear about quantum entanglement. I don't mean that like in a chauvinist or sexist kind of way. It's just a fact.
Oh, no, not at all.
Literally, no woman in the entire world wants to hear about quantum physics or quantum entanglement. They just don't. It's just something
they don't want to hear about it from us.
Well, that's true. I guess if like Chris Hemsworth, I can't think of another guy like manly man.
Yeah.
If like Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Thor? He's Thor, right?
I don't know. Who do the ladies like? That Morgan Freeman. All the ladies love the Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman, we're talking about it.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman. Yeah, everybody listens to Morgan Freeman. I want to listen to him. Tell me more, Morgan.
Do that again while you're holding your horn.
Tell me more, Morgan.
There you go.
I'm in the South, so I had to throw the Southern accent on it.
Of course you are.
I do declare.
All right, so
I'm in Atlanta, by the way, in case I didn't open with that.
Atlanta. Yeah.
I said I was in a dungeon. I didn't tell you what.
You're in a dungeon in Atlanta, so.
In Atlanta. Atlantis, that's right. Atlanta.
It's safe. The lost city of Atlanta is that's where you are.
The lost city of Atlanta.
So I do actually have some really bad, depressing news. David.
Yeah, sure. Let's share that.
You got to sit. Here's what you got to do for this one, David. You got to stand up and then you got to sit down again because you're gonna need to sit down for this. This is bad. Everybody, I apologize for the news I'm about to read you. In case you didn't hear, Red Lobster is filing for bankruptcy. Red Lobster.
I did see this. So they've got.
So no more of those cheddar biscuits. That's basically the end of the world. That's a sign of the apocalypse. No more cheddar biscuits.
You can buy Cheddar Bay biscuit mix at the grocery.
Well, hopefully somebody buys them. If they're owned by Red Lobster, they're not going to be around much longer.
Somebody's gonna buy. I mean, do you let the
only thing about Red Lobster
casual? Well, I was talking about. Do you let the only casual seafood restaurant go away without somebody stepping in to buy it? Restructure.
Nobody's buying Red Lobster. Shelley Webb says,
somebody's buying it.
no, Cheddar Bay
No,
biscuits.
Cheddar Bay biscuits are the bomb.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
anything, I think somebody will buy Cheddar Bay biscuits. I don't think they'll buy Red Lobster.
Well, I know, like Bob Evans, like, people don't know this. Like, if you go to the store and you buy the products from the store that are like their frozen things,
Right.
the frozen things from Bob Evans don't belong to Bob Evans anymore.
Right. Somebody bought the name. So that's what's
Yeah.
going to happen with these. Somebody's going to buy the name
Yeah.
of Red Lobster. Then I can open the stores again. So, no more kids going in and looking at the lobsters and choosing the one they want to murder and then eat. It's a shame. I used to love doing that.
I'm not a lot. I don't do seafood.
I'd
rather eat a taco. I'd rather eat a taco any day.
fish taco. Fish taco is a thing.
I will let that one go.
Fish tacos
I
are
will
proof that
absolutely
God
just let
loves
that
us
one
and wants
go.
us to be happy.
You have a shirt that says that about beer.
It's true. Actually, I just made one for actually I just made one for the Underdog Journey, by the way. Let's go ahead and get that pulled up.
Okay. Yeah, let's pull that up and let everybody know that you can only access the Underdog Journey's merch through the Underdog Journey links. You can't go to the puppy food place and get it. There's no back door from one side to the other.
They just made a new shirt for the Underdog Journey shop, which is coming up now. Dogs are proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. With Benji Franklin right there.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So
Benji Franklin, dude, that is
awesome. So we got that going on.
Actually, that is pretty cool.
But if you go to the Underdog, go to underdogjourney.com, and that'll take you to the top secret shop on Underdog Plus. It's only accessible through underdogjourney.com, and you can check out all of the Underdog Journey merch. Some of it was created by AI, and some of it was not.
Pull that back up full size.
What? Which one?
The shirt. Benji Franklin, man.
Here's the new one.
Benji Franklin again.
Benji Franklin. Dogs are proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy.
Benji Franklin, dude, that is gold,
right?
Benji Franklin.
I thought that was okay.
I mean, that is pure genius.
Sometimes I'm a little creative. I mean, I don't know.
All right, now bring up the funny walking, the Department of Funny Walking, because
the Ministry of Silly Walks.
Yes, I don't think anybody's seeing this. You're not sharing the screen on. Wait, no,
yes,
you're
I
not
am.
sharing it over here. Never mind.
I was going to say.
Okay, I had to figure out which screen was which.
So we have the Keep Walking T-shirt, the Ministry of Silly Walks.
Silly Walks, that's it.
There you go.
And we go up to size 5XL, so even people like me can buy off this site.
Right, or extra small, so people like me can wear it. It looks like you're out of mead, David. You need some more mead.
I have finished my horniness of mead.
I'm staying out of that.
If I just lay this down, I'm going to hand you back my horn. Oh, Lord of mercy.
I don't like anything that's happening over there.
That is delicious. Now, I'm getting my bourbon back here. Something I'm familiar with, so I know how drunk I'm going to get when I'm drinking bourbon.
Exactly. No, mead could get you into trouble if you're not paying attention. I might actually have to get a bottle for next week. I don't know.
I might actually get a bottle for next week.
Yeah.
So I need to find. I'm sure there's somebody around me that has mead.
Yeah, you can find mead.
Place and ask. I'm not going to walk into my normal spot and ask for mead because they might throw me out.
What are you trying to say? Real men drink mead. Vikings drink mead, David.
Yeah, but I don't have a braided beard. So
well, there's your problem right there.
Yeah. You just need a kilt. What's that?
David.
Oh, kilt.
Nobody wants to see David in a kilt, by the way. But yes. So you need a braided beard and a kilt.
My only fan. That's my only fan. Is just Dave in a kilt.
Nope.
Wrecked him. Damn near killed him. I love that. That's actually probably one of the best designs that we've ever come up with. Well, you've ever come up
that
with,
Walt Disney ever came up with.
The Steamboat Willie public domain.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's great stuff right there.
And now that it is public domain, we can actually sell this and make money doing it. Take that, Disney. Although I'm sure if we were actually making substantial amounts of money, they would definitely try and sue us. So
yeah, they'd give it a shot.
They would totally give it a shot. But yeah, go to underdogjourney.com. Check out all of our merch. And while you're there, pick up some delicious Underdog brew bones. We have all 4 flavors right now: apple bacon, apple crunch, peanut butter, and pumpkin spice. Although, David, I'm actually about to pull pumpkin spice off the market. I'm about to eliminate pumpkin spice.
You're gonna push it to September?
It's gonna be a seasonal flavor. I haven't done it yet, but I'm about to pull it off because it seems seasonal. It seems like one of those things that should only be around for a certain time of year.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what it is when the basic white bitches, when they go to get their coffee with their macchiatos or whatever it is that they drink, and they get the pumpkin spice version of it. That's when you bring back when they're wearing plaid,
Right.
when they have their pumpkin spice latte, and they're all watching Gilmore Girls. That's when you relaunch
Is that
that.
what the ladies watch? I don't know.
Oh, dude, they watch it every year. It's like the Super Bowl. Like we watch the Super Bowl. It's just a different Super Bowl every year. Not you. You don't fall in that
Yeah,
category.
no.
But
The super what?
where we watch that every year, they restart and watch the whole series of Gilmore Girls every year.
Okay, good.
It's
Good to
it's a
know.
thing.
Good. Fair enough.
It is known.
It's look. I'm sure they would roll their eyes at things that I'm watching right now also. So
Yeah.
I have no room to talk.
Yeah. I downloaded the Great Bourbon Heist or whatever it was.
I have no idea what that is,
watching,
but I like the sound of it.
The guys who were robbing like Pappies and Blantons and all the stuff and selling it.
Nice. Did they catch the guys?
Yeah, so I'm watching it. Well, yes, they did.
I have no idea.
But I'm watching it. I downloaded. I was watching on the airplane. The lady next to me scoffed, like I was offensive to her. So I don't know.
Oh, geez. Oh, no alcohol.
Oh no. And just I wanted to say something, but I don't know how to make fun of a person like that.
Just let out a big.
Actually,
Just let out a big fart. And just look at. Here's what you do. Just look at her straight in the eyes. Just like really like deep into her eyes, and just fart as long as you possibly can without blinking. Can you imagine?
I'm not traveling with you on an airplane.
Oh boy. Yeah. Look.
Sitting there.
If somebody's rubbing you the wrong way, there's always a way to get back at them that's way worse. I'm just telling you. There's always a way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's called escalation, and that's not really where my wheelhouse is. And you should know this.
Oh, pshaw, escalation. Escalate
De-escalate
this.
is usually my my world.
Escalate this. All right, so I do have a little bit more news. All right, so remember last week?
What you got?
Remember last week we were talking about that AI from the new version of ChatGPT. That it's this lady's voice.
Optics.
That so.
Oh yeah, she's suing.
Right. So there's actually a long story behind this. So apparently, we were talking about the movie Her with Scarlett Johansson and Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
He falls in love with the AI on his phone or something. And apparently Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, loved this movie. And when they were developing this version of ChatGPT, he had told his developers, we want it to be just like this. This is what we want. And that makes perfect sense because that's what they actually created. And at the beginning, they approached Scarlett Johansson and said, hey, can we use your voice for this? And she thought about it. She gave it some fair thought, and she probably could have made a lot of money off it. She said no. Yeah. And I don't blame her. She doesn't need the money. And can you imagine somebody else being able to do anything with your voice? I don't know. So she said no. Well, they kept, over the course of development of this thing, they kept asking her every once in a while, hey, are you sure about this? They kept going back with counteroffers and this and that. And I guess like the night before they launched this officially, they called her one more time and they're like, hey, are you really sure about this? Because we really want you for this project. And before she had a chance to respond again, they actually went through with the release that sounds, I'm not going to say exactly like her, but remarkably like Scarlett Johansson. And so they've actually come out recently and said, no, it's another voice actress.
It sounds remarkably like Scarlett Johansson.
We're not going to release her name because of privacy.
You're out of luck.
Well, we're not going to release her name because of privacy.
It's covered under NDA.
Yeah. And Scarlett Johansson saying, no, it sounds a little too much like me. So there's a potential pending lawsuit from Scarlett Johansson about this whole thing. And I don't blame her. Look, if it came out, I don't think they did. I think they actually did use another voice actress. That they probably found another voice actor that sounds like her on purpose. I get it. I would have done the same thing. But here's the interesting thing. This actually opens up a big can of worms for AI companies and celebrities. Because remember the last Screen Actors Guild strike. And one of the things they were striking over is the ability for movie studios to use AI likenesses of the actors, or also to use AI to write scripts and things like that. But one of the things was AI likenesses of the actors. They wanted that written into contracts for certain allowances. But this opens up a whole different segment of that. I think there's a lot here because the technology is developing so fast. I mean, who's to say a studio couldn't come along and say, we can't get Hugh Jackman, but let's develop a character that looks and sounds about as close to him as we can legally get. What legal,
Go for it.
like, right, how legally can he protect himself? I don't think he can, but that doesn't mean they can't try.
Here's how you protect yourself. Be low lives like us so that nobody tries to copy you.
Well, actually, look, a lot of people don't know this, but Bruce Willis actually sold his likeness to I forget what studio. He sold his likeness for future AI uses, and they can actually use his face in future movies without him actually being there. Because most people I think know now that he has like some neurological issues and it's degenerative and it's a whole problem. But they could easily cast him in future movies. I'm sure it's written into the contract they have to give his heirs something for that. They can't just use it for nothing. But it's this whole thing is going to be interesting. See how it plays out. I don't know. I kind of like the story just because it's weird.
Okay, so remember I said, I've talked about it many times about AI and how it sets up and how you utilize it and how you it's only as good as how it's programmed.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Let's say you say I want to write a superhero show where the heroine is a redhead, super fit hottie.
You're welcome.
Right?
I mean, look, I could sue over that. Yes.
So it's going to source the material for that and create a image based upon those sources. It might look suspiciously like West Carnahan. It might look suspiciously like Scarlett Johansson.
She and I do have a lot in common. Yes. So
you're practically twins.
Remember the story from a few months ago? In China, a company successfully sued. I forget which AI company it was, but it was an AI generative image company that created images that looked almost identical to whatever Japanese character that was at the time. It was like Ultraman or something. It was Ultraman. They actually created images, and they had similarities to this Ultraman character. It wasn't Ultraman, but it looked like them. And the Chinese court said, yep, you owe them a crap ton of money now. Go ahead. So the precedent has been set, at least in China. And frankly, the U.S. isn't far off from that. That's all I'm going to say.
Places, which of all places to sue somebody for copyright infringement? That kind of strikes me as funny.
Fair point. And frankly, the U.S. isn't too far off anyway. So I think the next 10 years are going to be really, really, really interesting as far as seeing how these things play out, because it's happening so quickly in ways that people couldn't have imagined 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Well, she also, just talking about Scarlett Johansson, she's the one who sued Disney here not that long ago about the release of
Black Widow. Yeah.
Black Widow. Yeah.
She wanted
because Disney, her percentage was based upon box office intake, and that was
during COVID
for the movie, and it was shortly after. Well, my idea of when COVID ended and when the rest of the world's idea of COVID ended was different.
It was technically during COVID, during like a lot of lockdowns and stuff. Yeah.
It started in mid-March of 2020 and it ended at late March in 2020 for me.
Okay. As far as companies being locked down.
Yeah,
right.
The lockdowns and all the the frizzle date. Anyway, but because they released it in the theaters, and then on the heels of that, released it. I think it was almost less than a week. I mean, it was something very short. They released on Disney Plus.
I think it was a simultaneous release, actually.
It might have been.
I think it was a simultaneous release.
Basically, they killed any chance of that movie making a box office return. So it made a Disney Plus return. Now, at the time, the CEO was Bob Paycheck. So Bob Paycheck needed everything he could to boost Disney Plus because it was a sinking ship, as we have all.
Well, I mean, in
which we all knew.
to Bob.
He did that, and they ended up getting sued by Scarlett Johansson
Right.
for that release as well.
And I'm not trying to defend Bob Paycheck, but Bob Iger really hasn't fared much better. Some would say even worse. So that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I would not have.
It's a whole different
if
conversation.
I were Bob Iger, I would not have. I would not have come back.
Yeah.
They had been like, "Hey, Bob, no, no."
Have you seen how much money they give him? Seen how much money he's making?
No.
He can sink that company all day, every day, which he basically has been, and he's still making tens of millions of dollars without even thinking about it. So look, that's a whole different conversation. We're not going to get political, but Scarlett Johansson potentially suing OpenAI, which it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
He's got a base salary of $865,000. Stock awards. So basically, his stock compensation is $16.1 million. And then he's got a $2.1 million performance-based compensation as well. So, I mean, that one I can understand. The stock, I mean, that's good too. I mean,
at this point, he doesn't care about his performance bonus. He doesn't care about his performance bonus. That's the reason he's doing what he's doing. Yeah. If he cared about his performance bonus,
he doesn't care about the incoming money either.
No,
I mean, it's just a matter of trying it. And I got to tell you, you left on top, man. So Bob, what the hell? You left on top. You don't come back when you leave on top.
No, Disney is.
You don't come back unless you're doing a fist fight with what's that ass hat that you were talking about with Logan Paul or Jake Paul.
Oh, Mike Tyson and
Bob Iger and Logan Paul fist fight or a boxing match. Now that's when you come back for that.
Right.
But you don't come back to Disney and ride the ship down, dude. There's no saving there.
Well, so I have to share my screen while I say this. So while this is on the screen, I do have to say while this is on the screen that Disney is no longer a for-profit company. They've already proven they're no longer a for-profit company. Disney at this point is a message machine, and you may like their message, you may not, but it is what it is. Yeah. They're no longer interested in profits, because if they were interested in profits, they might not be making some of the choices they're making. I say that with this on the screen, because you can now buy this awesome Steamboat Willie public domain t-shirt on underdogjourney.com. By the way, 20% of all profits from everything on this website go directly to local pet rescues. So not Disney. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I just had to say that.
So I mean, so Bob, come on, man. You didn't learn from Michael Eisner. That's what I'm getting at. Is Michael Eisner stayed a lot longer than he should have, and he did amazing things for that company. But he's not. When it first comes to mind, that's not what you think about. You think about the failures that are late in his career, not all the innovation that he did at the beginning of it. And Iger's just like, all right, I'll have a piece of that.
Oh yeah, look, here's the really messed up thing. They could pay me a fraction of what they're paying Bob Iger, and I could sink that company way better than he's doing. I'm just saying. I can wipe my backside with Walt Disney's legacy way more efficiently than he's managed to do so far, even though he's done a pretty good job of that. But that's a different conversation. So one more piece of news.
Yeah, we're a little, when we start talking about, because Disney's one of those companies that,
they are what?
It just has the potential to be amazing.
They could be. Well, look,
it has everything that
they used to be
phenomenal and to lead the world in broadcasting, entertainment, movies.
And they used to be before they were
creativity and amusement. I mean, it's got all the stuff you need. It's all of the things that Orson Welles warned us about. But
right,
it's just when you move away from what you're doing to just
pushing political agendas.
I don't want to.
No, that's all they do.
Because it doesn't.
That's all they do.
But it's not just about that. It's about not using. Okay, so if let's say, Wes, you have a knack for pissing people off. Right?
I really do.
You're really good.
I'm really good at it.
If you didn't use that for the betterment of mankind, it's just a waste of time.
Oh, I'd be such a good supervillain. I would be really good. I've often thought if I had no morals, I'd be a great cult leader. I'd be so good at it.
I think we need a good supervillain right now. I think we got several already. We need somebody that's not hiding the fact that they're a supervillain. We need somebody that actually is a supervillain and owns it.
Right.
Where's a fucking cape? Right? I mean, where's a cape?
Yeah, I get it. We need a Doctor Doom in the
That's
world
what we
sometimes. So speaking of Doctor
Yes.
Doom, I do have one more piece of news. Speaking of Doctor Doom, Elon Musk says AI will take all of our jobs.
Stick our job.
They're gonna take our jobs. That was great. I love South Park.
Wow.
So,
So I haven't gotten through it. I did download this. I haven't finished it yet.
okay.
But I'm watching the Cred episode.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
I'm watching the Cred episode. and it's early
so
in the
good.
show. It's like, I got cred, bitches.
Yeah.
I
South
got
Park is
cred.
genius, man. I love it.
Like that is gold. That was good stuff. And you said that I don't know, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whichever it was, did the podcast that he did one to mimic and mock or to doppelganger.
Right. So
the one that's in the movie in the
right. So for those who don't know, Jake Paul or Logan Paul, one of the Paul DBs, has this has an energy drink called
DBs.
called Prime, and it's a hydration drink. And South Park did a parody of this. They called Cred, and all the little kids had Cred. And the more cred you have, the more popular you are in school. And they actually had a commercial for Cred, talking about how ridiculous it was, making fun of the owner, all that kind of stuff. And Jake Paul, or Logan Paul, one of the Pauls, I can't remember now, did a shot-for-shot remake with him redoing this commercial from South Park. So he saw this parody of him, and then he parodied the parody. So look, he's a DB, but look,
that's genius.
The one thing you can say is he is a marketing genius. He is.
If that was his idea, not his,
it might have been his team.
If that was his idea,
yeah.
I mean,
because that was a good move, man.
Gotta give mad credit for that. Okay, so AI's taking our jobs.
AI taking all of our jobs. So
taking our jobs.
Elon Musk says artificial intelligence will take all of our jobs, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Probably none of us will have a job, Musk said about the AI.
So Elon Musk years ago made the comment about a minimum guaranteed income.
Well, so that's actually in here. It's him talking about the universal basic income is what he calls it.
Universal basic income. And he talked about that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago he brought this
up. He's still talking about it. He said if you want to do a job, that's kind of like a hobby. You can do it or not do it. But otherwise, AI and robots.
The electricians that you're going to need out there.
AI
and go back to South Park and try to trade some. Do you need some geology? Well, I'll trade. Where's my? Here we go. I got my tablet case over here.
Right.
I'll trade you some geology. For fixing my stove, my oven door.
Well, so here's the interesting thing. So he says nobody's going to have a job. Robots and AI are going to do everything. I mean, at a certain point, AI is not going to write itself. I mean, it might. Maybe AI will write itself, and the robots will fix themselves. But I mean, it's interesting. I don't think it sounds super viable. But here's another thing. What will humans be able to do as a hobby that other humans might be interested in? Because AI right now, it can write poetry. It can create paintings that are mimic the masters in almost every way. It can create music that's it's not perfect, but it's darn good. It can do a lot of stuff. So if hypothetically AI and robots take our jobs, are we basically just then the humans from WALL-E? Are we just like these blobs that sit in chairs drinking Slurpees all day? I'll bet there'd be a lot of those.
I'm one step ahead of everybody. I'm already fat. I got it covered.
I mean, it sounds kind of nice sometimes, but I don't know. What do you think about this? Do you think we'll spend all of our time in video games? Do you think this is even a possibility in 100 years?
So
in 100 years.
So somewhere between WALL-E and Ready Player One, is that what you're saying?
Maybe, because here's the thing. Look, everything that we have in AI right now basically developed within the last 2 years. Within, let's say, 100 years from now, imagine what it's going to be. What are your predictions, David? I want to know what you actually think.
My predictions. Okay, so
Are they going to take our jobs?
Certain things, yes.
Are we going to get a universal basic income that will basically
believe we will
socialize
see-
everything?
I believe. Okay, so the idea of a universal basic income is a stepping stone. Just as if I not to get political, but there's a letter at the back end of my name that most people could easily identify and assign. That most people could easily identify and as to what that letter is. But I believe that we're going to see a lot more solar power. I believe we're going to see a lot more wind energy. We're going to see a lot more sustainable things come. Is it the absolute solution? Probably not. But it's the step. It's the next step that we have to take. So the goal would be to not have an income at all and not need an income at all.
So everything is free. If you need something, it's just the robots bring it to your house and it's there, right?
The goal is Star Trek, man. The goal is.
But even in Star Trek, they had gold press latinum, and they had freight pilots, freight ship pilots, and they still had humans doing stuff.
No. So but they didn't need them.
They just did it for fun.
So there's going to be certain. So I did say there's certain jobs will be taken.
Okay.
There'll be certain things that will be. There's already certain jobs. I mean, look at the.
Well, I'm not saying they're not going to take all of our jobs. I mean, I'm going to say. So here's the thing. I fully expect in the next 5 years, most of the jobs that we have now in technology, whether it's marketing, advertising, even customer support, in probably most cases within the next 3 years, is going to be all AI. It's going to be all AI. It will. But just like when
if you switch your customer support to AI, I'm not going to do business.
But just like when computers came out, everybody said, "Oh, they're going to take all of our jobs. What are all these people going to do?" They didn't lose their jobs. They just moved to different jobs. There were always jobs.
It's going to be a growth. It's a step. It's a process.
So where do you think we're going to be in 100 years? Then
we're going to pick up some there. In 100 years, we're talking about the year 2100, 2124.
Right. Do you think people have jobs as just hobbies?
No. It won't evolve that fast. There'll still be a lot. I mean, electricians.
You don't think a robot can do that?
Plumbers still going to be used.
100 years from now.
No. Okay, so are you going to buy a purpose-built robot?
No,
that you're going to have.
No, you're misunderstanding. You do understand, but what you're a little bit short-sighted on in this case is the generalist robots that can do everything a human can do.
Okay,
generalist
so you're
robots.
talking about like the form of a human.
That's what they're working on. Tesla's developing the Tesla bot. Apple is actually developing one right now. A generalist robot.
So I have seen the top end, absolute top of the line that has utilized the latest version of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
4.0.
It's not 4.0. It's 4.0, by the way. It's the letter O.
4.0. Okay, the letter O.
They should have given it a different name. I agree.
Well, it's for optics. It's for the optic integration.
It's still dumb.
But I have seen the absolute latest and greatest of what that is right now.
Okay.
I think we're 50 years before we have a basic service robot. A basic service robot. Now,
David, what we have now is only 2 years old. What we have now is only 2 years old.
You say that, but I've also been watching and tracking this for not 20 years, but for 10 to 12 years. So it's not just that. It's the software upgrades and changes in the last 2 years have been great, but the mechanics and all the stuff that goes into it outside of just the brain of it has been in progress for years and decades. And so we're 50 years before we have a standard.
That's why I said 100 years.
And now at 100 years, how long is it before the propagation of the use of these robots goes to the standard person? Because
I think it's 20 years. I say 20 years.
The elites will have it first. The corporations, governments will get it first.
Right.
The corporations have it second.
Yes.
And then we will start at elites and start working our way down.
Right. I think it will be on the market. Most people probably couldn't afford it. I think it'll be on the market within 20 years. Because here's the interesting thing, like the LLMs, large language models that empower AIs like ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT,
right.
yeah.
So that LLM technology that we have now is only like 2 years old. all it takes is a quantum leap like that for everybody else to say, oh, we don't have to, this giant leap happened here. We don't need to recreate the wheel. We need to take what they did and make it better. And that's the reason you see these different AI companies sort of doing the same thing, but then innovating it in a different way, because they just took what somebody else did, their innovations, they build upon it. Somebody else takes their innovations and they build upon it. And gradually,
it's the steps.
But here's the thing, some steps are significantly larger than others. And honestly, with the quantum computing that they're developing now, wait until they have quantum computers in the entire internet network. Okay, you could have a cell phone that could have quantum computer level processing speeds, running LLMs on using qubits instead of actual traditional LLM coding that we have right now. I mean, there are some groundbreaking things that are right on the verge of happening. I'm not saying AI is going to take over the world Skynet style, but I honestly think that we are really, really close to some bonkers changes in the world because of this. David's getting.
So I love it when my laptop here is dying. So now because I was running so late, the last thing I forgot to do
plug in the laptop. I know, I hate that.
Plug in my laptop.
I've done that.
So now I'm trying to get my laptop, and I'm like, you know what? Wes is talking about AI. Now's the opportunity.
Wes is talking about AI. I can go do anything. I'll be back in an hour. Yeah.
And we're back.
Laura Lyons Black says, "Hello, baby."
She's talking to you.
I get that a lot. So I think, I don't know. I'm torn.
She called me baby boy on here once, and that nickname kind of stuck.
Baby boy.
For a bit. Baby boy.
Baby boy, nothing well.
That was a good one.
So I'm torn. I think I hate the idea of
that was a great song.
I hate the idea of a universal basic income, but I think he may be right. It may be inevitable eventually.
It is inevitable. It is a stepping stone. There are a few steps, I believe, before we get to that. But you need to be. You can't just spring something like that on somebody.
Well, no, yeah, it's going to be a frog in the pot. It's going to take time to get people used to it.
So exactly. So you need to plant the seed. He's been planting the seed for 10, 15 years. He has been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
So it is the move towards and the slow walk towards it. The goal would be not to need money, but there's always the problems from both sides.
Well, right.
What about the people who don't do anything to benefit humanity? Like, oh, what? Okay.
The useless eaters, and there are those.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
so that's
the conspiracy theorists would then say, well, that's also why they're manufacturing record low fertility rates around the world. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are people saying that.
I'm not saying it's in the corn, but aliens.
I'm not saying it's because of the microplastics in literally everything you put in your body, but it could be aliens.
Did you see? Oh my God! You said micro, and I started thinking microwaves and radiation, right? So have you seen the latest video about microwave radiation across the U.S.?
No. What's that? What, should I be worried?
Okay, so there is a we all should, according to this. There is a website that you can go to and actually track every day, 24/7. It maps the radiation hot points across the globe, and we will. They're watching this. Okay, so the comment came up here. I was like, "Let me go."
Yeah, Merch Casto
about natural resources and AI. Okay, yeah, that's a fair thing there. Natural resources. So that's why that's the push for sustainability and like I said, solar and things like this to migrate over.
Also,
to
Marcia Casto, you say we'll be long gone by then. Speak for yourself. I fully plan on living at least for 100 more years. Here's actually my retirement plan. My retirement plan is to live just long enough to where they can develop the technology to pluck my brain out of my head, put it in a robot body, and then basically I just live forever as a robot brain hybrid.
So, have you ever seen the show? No, so I got sidetracked here from the radiation map. But have you seen the show Upload?
I have. That's kind of dystopian a little bit. It's a good show. It got canceled. We're never going to find out how it ends.
That's good because it deserved to be canceled after the. I watched the first episode of season 2 and was like, "You guys had a great thing here.
Yeah, this last season was not
I
great.
I could have used Chat GPT and made a better season 2.
Yeah, this last season
So
might have
they
been
need
written
to
with
go
ChatGPT.
They need to go back. Is it season 2 or season 3?
Well, this previous season, whatever it was, 3 maybe.
Okay. So after season 1, they had such a great seed
Mm-hmm.
to grow from, and then I just watched what they did in season 2. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not going to watch this, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Which okay.
There you go.
So what they need to do is retcon. Wipe that away. Go back to season 2, episode 1, and do it right this time.
Don't get me started on retconning sci-fi TV shows. I have a long list of rants there.
So yeah, I gotta tell you. So if there was it would be it would be way down the list. So okay, all right.
Radiation maps?
All
Are we going
okay,
back to radiation maps? Or are we still talking
radiation map? No. So just everybody get a chance. Go Google the radiation maps across the U.S.
Well, now I'm worried because I keep a cell phone next to my balls all day.
So nothing.
I mean, should I be worried? Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Keep it up.
Good to know.
Speaking of balls, I was just gifted a ice making kit.
Okay.
Excuse me. That makes crystal clear ice balls.
Oh, the ice balls. Yeah. How is it? Is it good?
So I just got it yesterday.
Ooh, okay.
Just got it yesterday.
Nice.
I'm down in, like I said, I'm in Atlanta. But when I get home, it's literally one of the first things coming to my suitcase.
That's awesome.
I'm taking it downstairs. Water, deep freeze. I need crystal.
Do you have to use the distilled water in it?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
So to get the clarity, a lot of people think this, but it's directional freezing that allows you to get the crystal clear things.
So go ahead, yeah.
Everybody out there who gets text messages, and I send messages and whatnot to everybody because I do the show and whatnot. Look forward to pictures of my balls in the upcoming future.
They're ice cold.
I'm going to be very proud of my balls. They are going to be round and perfect.
They're perfectly round and ice cold.
A glass of bourbon with them.
You'll want to dip them in your bourbon.
I am absolutely going to be like, hey, look at my balls. And send pictures of these things here. So I'm really excited to get those things home because
yeah. And I'm really happy I'm on your list now, your phone list.
Yeah, your text list.
Text list. All right. So that's all the news I had. I assumed a couple AI stories would be enough for you.
Yeah, we're at 9:05.
There you go.
We're good to start a topic. We're good to actually get a topic from last week. That's how far behind we are. This topic is from last week.
Look, we got a lot of ideas. Got a lot of things to talk about. It's very important stuff.
Yeah. Number one, we had Georgian tacos today.
What's a Georgian taco?
Tacos that you can get in Georgia. I don't know. It's a taco you get in Georgia.
All right, fair enough. Sounds delicious. I love a taco.
It is good. I mean, I was happy.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
And we talked about AI, which that's good. Yeah, there you go. And we've got we're all being irradiated with radiation. Check out the map.
It's true, yeah.
And the people that are responsible are aliens. So yeah.
And David's ice cold balls. All right.
Ice cold balls. I promise forgot about my balls.
All good stuff. So yeah, I think we should actually do a show coming up soon where we do nothing but talk conspiracy theories. The most bat-crap crazy conspiracy theories.
To say that. That would be awesome.
We need to do that show. I've been wanting to do that show for a while.
All right. Let's see.
I think we'd have a whole dedicated show just to conspiracy theories.
That's
just conspiracy, like a whole different show.
I don't think I'm ready to take on a whole nother podcast, man.
You're not ready for this, David. I got some stuff to talk about.
Bro, I know you. I know you. You got your tinfoil hat sitting right there, son.
I love a conspiracy theory.
First week of June, so possibly Wednesday the 5th. So we'd have to move the podcast to Wednesday. I will be in Columbus, Ohio on Wednesday the 5th.
Oh, nice. What are you in town for? Work?
Work. But I will leave so I got some teams from Australia and some teams from Europe coming in. But I'll let them, they can come drink beer if they want. But we can go to Hofbrauhaus on Wednesday the 5th of June.
Yeah, let's make it happen. We can do that.
And I say we make that the conspiracy
theory show. Yeah, big conspiracy theory show.
That would be awesome.
Nice.
I have no idea how that's going to tie in with business. We might not even try.
The business of conspiracy theories. You know what? The History Channel has made a whole career out of it.
Yeah, the business. Yeah. The History Channel is like Oh God! I mean, have you watched anything from the History Channel lately?
I'm not saying it's aliens,
it's
but
just
it's aliens. Giorgio
no.
Tsoukalos made his whole
ancient astronauts.
ancient astronaut theorists believe pretty much anything you say.
That is a drinking game. Just so, okay. So for everybody out there, come up, visit me, and we will set and we'll watch this. We'll watch 2 hours of ancient astronauts. And every time they say the words
Ancient astronaut theorists.
ancient astronauts theorists believe,
Yeah.
we drink.
Oh, you would die of alcohol poisoning 10 minutes into the show.
It's brutal. It's brutal. Absolutely. And then traditional historians counter with
I think it's
a
mainstream historians, mainstream scientists.
Man, it's a rock. Like right now, there's we all know that the Mars rover is actually up in Canada now, but they're posting this video of this, like, look at this rock from Mars. I'm like, bro, we all know it's up in Canada now, but it literally just looks like a rock.
Oh man, I hate that. So on Instagram, there's always these videos of like these slow motion with this like spooky music playing, the slow motion zoom in of a rock of one of these Mars rover photographs, and
up in Canada,
and it's in slow motion because they want you to watch all the way through, so they get their watch times up, so they get more play.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and it has this like music going behind it, so it gets you watching it, and you're like, what is it going to be? What's it going to show? And you get to the end, it's a rock. There's nothing. It doesn't even look like a weird rock. It's just a rock.
Go, that's a rock. It's a rock. It's literally a rock.
Just
so there's where is it? It's in Mongolia. It's in Mongolia. Okay, man. We are off the rails here. Rock formations.
Yeah, I shouldn't have brought up conspiracy theories because we can go all day on conspiracy theories.
Okay, so let's see here.
Is there a rock formation in Mongolia we got to see now?
Oh my lord! So so they believe these people, ancient giant earthling conspiracists.
Ooh, the giant people. Okay, the giants.
Yes, the giant people. That these huge rocks that are stacked on top of each other with such precision that it can't be done with modern equipment.
No, David, here's
it's a big effing rock that cracked.
David,
it's not. It wasn't placed there. It was glaciers came down. They pushed all this stuff up, and then as it freezed and thawed, it cracked. It wasn't placed there. It was one rock, and now it's cracked into multiple rocks.
Here's what you don't understand, David.
Down.
David, here's what you don't understand. Humans are incapable of putting one rock on top of another. Nature certainly is incapable of doing the same thing.
I love the people with the pyramids. They're like, I mean, who would have ever thought to stack? Who would have ever thought to construct with such precision these rocks? I'm like, any toddler.
Yeah, literally any.
We'll start with a big one,
child,
and put smaller ones, and bring it up to a pyramid. It literally is the basic structure.
Right. Well, and then there
used to be sources of power that they were able to pull energy from the cosmos.
Well, then their argument is
to stack of rocks.
Well, and then their argument is these rocks weigh 50 tons. We can't do that with modern day technology. Well, hang on a second. You can't do it with modern day technology if you want to do it in a single day. Guess what? These people spent their entire life doing this one thing. They will have spent their entire life moving this one rock. They weren't worried about speed. They were worried about getting that rock on top of the other rock.
If Egypt had project managers, then they're going to have a problem. But Egypt didn't have project managers.
No PMs in Egypt, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, no PMs in Egypt. So all you had to do is like, all right, you move this rock only 6 centimeters a day.
Good job.
I don't know what a centimeter is because it's ancient Egypt, but good job. Oh, you died. Okay, but your son's here now to replace you. That's great.
All right. Well, okay. No more conspiracy. We're going to save it all for the conspiracy theory show. It's going to be awesome. That's going to be a fun show.
That's going to be a good one.
We got we're doing it at the Hopper House. We need to actually wear tinfoil hats for that show.
Oh, okay. So I'll have to talk to kind of a single gnat flying around it.
I hate that.
And that son of a bitch is kamikaze. He is absolutely bound and determined.
Marcia Casto's taken off. She said she's looking forward to Down the Rabbit Hole show. We can name this. We could do a whole different show called Down the Rabbit Hole. That's the name of the show from now on.
Rabbit Hole. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is way better than David's Hornhole.
Hey, my horn's gone now. It went back upstairs.
Well, it happens to the best of us, David. It's been a long night.
Yeah,
Let's.
my horn went down with too much bourbon.
Nope. Nope. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
Redhead.
I'm not. I'm not.
You're not
I'm
touching
not
that?
coming.
I appreciate that.
I'm not touching that horn. No. Let's. So we're actually.
Oh wait, one of my phones buzzed here. What was it?
Uh-oh.
Somebody's texting me. There we
Take,
go. Let's see.
he's taking phone calls
Oh,
just as we're about to get to the main topic.
It's my brother.
Oh, he's not down there with you anymore?
Who?
I thought he was in the same room as
No.
you.
He went upstairs. I don't know.
I don't blame him.
What he's doing. He should come back down here.
This is where the fun is. All right, so we
This is
do
where the
actually have a
fun
main
is.
topic, and it's actually the main topic from last week because you thought the rants
Yeah.
from this week were bad. Last week was literally just 3 hours of rants.
I mean, we ended up in quantum entanglement. Okay, so when a business podcast ends up talking quantum entanglement, something's gone awry.
It was a fun show, but we were definitely
was
entangled in that conversation.
Indeed.
So the last week's topic is going to be the 7 keys to being a high performer. I changed it this week to the how to be your team's MVP. Basically the same thing. How to be the most valuable person on your team. How to be the top performer. We have 7 tips that we can run through. And if you can do all 7 of these tips, no matter what career you're in, no matter what industry you're in, whether it's your own company or you work for another company, these will get you to the very top of your game. So I know David knows these. He probably doesn't have the agenda in front of him, but he can catch up. All right.
I
So,
do not have the agenda in front of me. I don't have my normal equipment with me.
so number 1 is this might be one of the most important ones for any part of your life is control over your emotions. Control over your emotions.
That's tough.
So people who can handle stress and can control their emotions will have just that much of a leg up over any competition in any part of their life. Think about any decision that you've ever made in your life. Any bad decision or bad choice you've made in your entire life. Almost every single time it was made because of emotional reasons, not because of thoughtful, logical reasons. Right? So if you can actually just control those emotions, whether you're ultra happy, ultra excited, or frustrated, and somebody said something that pissed you off in a meeting, and you're like, ooh. I mean, just
You're
if
like,
you
I want to
control
rip
it.
your head off and shit down the hole.
I mean, I've heard that a few times in my life.
That's why I use that specific one.
Exactly.
So I can look back, and I was a cook for Fuddruckers.
I can never hear that name and not think of Idiocracy. I every single
Okay.
time. Every single time.
Yeah. Everybody that listens to us, it is our absolute. It's our recommendation. Nay, it's rule number 1. Every person should watch Idiocracy.
It is a requirement. It's a hard, steady requirement. If you're going to vote in America, you must watch Idiocracy. You have to.
Yes. You really.
In fact, I want to get an Idiocracy t-shirt and wear it on voting day. I have to. I think I have to. I think I should make one, sell it on Underdog Journey, and and then hopefully we don't get sued. But I think we should do this.
Well, it depends. I mean, we could skirt IP on that pretty well.
Ooh, like Camacho 2024.
Actually, I've seen that T-shirt.
Oh man, that's a good idea.
That one's out there.
Of course.
Yeah, that one's out there. You can buy that on Amazon. But I was a cook, and I did food prep and everything. And I don't remember what it was. There was a day when something was not going right. I was upset, and I'm taking, of all things, they used to have you got your burgers, they were plain, and then you decorate them with your stuff over in a big salad bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out there, and I wasn't thinking, I wasn't angry, I wasn't trying to make a statement, I wasn't doing anything. I was just in my head on something completely separate, and I put this thing in, and to me, I put it in just like I normally did, but I didn't. I threw it in there, and the mirror that was on the back, I shattered that fucking thing. Shattered it.
Yeah.
So now we've got the whole thing. All the work that I've been in the back doing, I now had to double.
Yeah.
All of this stuff has to go. All of it. There's no, hey, can we save? No, everything has to go. And now we got to get out there. Now we got to hire somebody to come in and put a new mirror, which that's actually not that
Yeah.
expensive. But because I wasn't thinking about intentionally controlling my emotions,
Mm-hmm.
it got the better of me. And I tell my son this all the time. You know, when you have that emotional upheaval, when you have that emotional push,
Right.
that is the time that you need to have the absolute most control of yourself.
Right.
And
look,
he does pretty well. He smarts off sometimes. I DDT him. It's fun.
and it's difficult too. Like myself, I get ultra focused. When I get mad, when somebody says something that rubs me the wrong way, especially like in a business setting, like I get ultra focused. Everything becomes crystal clear. I see facts laid out in all directions.
Yeah.
And you think that I mumble I kind of mumble in day-to-day speech. I kind of stutter. But like when I'm mad, when I get that adrenaline going, I don't. It is just clean spoken. Everything is right there, ready to go at the tip of my brain. All the facts, everything I need. The problem is though, is the filter also disappears. So like normally I'm very political. I'm like, I kind of choose my words pretty carefully usually. And sometimes when I get emotional, I don't. I don't choose those words correctly. And even though I might be right, it's not always the right time to be right. You know what I mean? So being able to control those emotions is step number one of being a top performer. Because if you can do that, you can own any room. Any room.
So yeah, I was in a cigar lounge earlier today. Imagine that, right?
I would never guess.
Lounge. Or yeah, you're like, oh no. So I'm there, and I said something, and I knew that what I said wasn't correct, but I hedged it, and then at the end of my statement, I was like, oh yeah, and I'm not really sure. I'm not from here. I don't know exactly where it was about geography of the general area. He's like, I wasn't going to correct you. You say tomato, and
Right.
I'm not going to be like, oh, you mean tomato. I'm like, dude, that is one of the hardest lessons to learn in life.
It's true.
Sometimes it's better to be quiet than right.
That's it. That's exactly it. And we all have and that falls into the same boat of a lot of people. They want to be right because it's an emotional response. Their emotions, their ego is tied up in being right. So sometimes you need to let that go and understand. Put your emotions aside. Put your ego aside. Sometimes keep your mouth shut. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Especially when you're mad or heated.
Yeah, there's no win. Okay. Control over your emotions. Okay, number two.
Number two is be a strong communicator. So you should be able to express your ideas clearly and effectively to almost anyone, by the way. So here's something a lot of people run into. I fall into this trap myself, is over-explaining yourself or explaining things in a way. Here's a big problem, actually. I'm doing it right now, where I understand a specific thing. I understand a situation or a technology or a functionality, and I kind of start talking about it in a way where I just assume everybody else kind of knows what I'm talking about, and they have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. You need to be able to speak clearly to people who understand you, who don't understand you, and be able to communicate in a way to where, regardless of their level of understanding, they will at least be able to kind of follow what you're saying. And then you can progress the conversation from there and elaborate more if you need to, this or that. But being able to clearly communicate is a big one. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people, especially in business settings, where you hear somebody speak and you're like, you should not speak in this meeting. You know what I mean? We've all been there.
Yeah. So I use the Einstein approach. And Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough.
Well, you're jumping ahead of us. That's actually part of the next one. But you're totally right.
So when you're here, you're talking about, being a good communicator is, when I'm in with my so-called peers,
mm-hmm.
They don't know me as well as like my old school crew, because I will drop business buzzwords and torture them in there like a hipster wearing a scully cap, which I actually wear a scully cap. But it's not ironic when I wear a scully cap. It is ironic when I'm in there just spouting off a bunch of business buzzwords and shit that don't mean anything. But that's the way I've always thought of it is, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And that's something from Albertus Einstein himself.
Yeah, and that's actually part of the next one. These are kind of interconnected. But
okay, I'm gonna look at the next one now.
Another part of it okay, move on. All right, let's move on. So the next one is have the ability to simplify complex concepts. So you need to be not only quick to understand complex ideas and concepts, but then be able to break them down into simple explanations. So here's the real way that you can gauge if somebody actually understands something. If they can understand a complex idea and then explain that idea in multiple different ways, in simplified ways. So the best way that you can understand that you can tell that somebody doesn't really know what they're talking about is if they can only explain it in one way, very complex, and they're like, well, you don't get it. I can't explain it to you any other way. Guess what? You probably don't get it then either, because if you did, you could dumb it down for me a little bit. It's just, and it's just what you said, David.
I dumb everything down because it's literally the only way I can understand it. Is it has to be dumbed down. I'm not a smart man. I'm not a smart man, Jenny.
Well, but you actually you literally in the previous point you actually said specifically what I just said in a different way, right? It's when you really understand a topic, really understand a subject, you can explain it in multiple ways, and I've seen you do it. So, except for quantum mechanics, because as the great Richard Feynman said, if you think you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics. Getting back to the quantums.
There's okay. All right.
Another rant. Here we go.
There's just. I am proud to say that I cannot explain quantum mechanics because I don't understand quantum mechanics. That's okay with me. I love it. I understand enough of it, the basics of it, to say, all right, this is possible. Because 1 + 1 = 2. All right. Any math that goes above that level, I'm a salesman. It's above my level. If it's not number plus number equals the revenue that I'm getting, I'm out. Okay. But using that basic math, I am able to understand whether something is theoretically possible. Now, okay. So I have gone on record on the show. Oh, I can't believe we're going into this.
I have no idea where you're going.
So what are we on? What are we on here? We're on number 3.
That was number 3.
That was number 3. Okay. So we're gonna pick up on number 4 after we talk about time travel. This is
where the show is going right now. We're doing time travel now. All right.
Yeah, we're doing time travel. Just real quick, I have gone on record with Weston on this show saying time travel would be theoretically impossible if you were just using time as the I'm going to use the business buzzword because I don't know how to use it here. If time was the only vortices that you were working on. However, if you were to, the theory right now is quantum entanglement can be entangled from a particle from today, and it could be another place, but it could also be entangled to another time. So if you were able to utilize, and they have yet to fully prove this, if we can find that there is quantum entanglement from time, future, and past, then I have to retract my statement that time travel is absolutely impossible and say, all right, now it actually has a basis that we could technically time travel.
I disagree. Let's move on.
Yeah, I love that. He just flat disagreed, giving no explanation whatsoever. I can explain at least partially why I believe it is. But let's go on to number 4. Use your voice. Okay, so
see, I just used my voice.
The wheels fell off for my family traveling. They were supposed to meet me down here for the weekend. Now I'm going back home tomorrow, but they were supposed to travel down here and meet me for the weekend. And I'm on the phone with my current wife. I think she's still my current wife anyway. And I'm like, make a scene. I mean, make a scene.
Right. Yeah.
Not only make a scene, throw some shit.
Right. Use your voice.
Throw some shit.
You get the thumbs up on the Skype. Yeah.
It's automatic. I don't know how to turn that off. And I'm afraid to mess with settings.
At least you're not freezing this time. I think it's the new iPad.
Yeah. It's the new iPad, and like I said, I had to relog in, so they just opened up. They did a reboot on Skype. Okay,
but yeah, use your voice. That's number 4. So yes, use your voice. If there's a less than optimal situation, guess what? You need to be able to go back to the previous steps of being a strong communicator. Having the ability to simplify complex subjects, and then use your voice to actually express the points of this being a less than optimal situation. Whether you're in a business meeting, again, understand place and time. Whether it's in personal situations, use your voice.
I like how you use the terminology of less than optimal.
I'm
A
trying to
less
be
than
diplomatic
optimal
here.
situation.
Less than optimal situation. We've all been there.
For those of you at home, okay, I'm going to go back to one of the previous things and explain this differently. It's the period. It's the point in time when you reach and go, "This is bullshit."
Right. Well, look,
That's less than optimal.
But if you're in a board meeting, you can't really say this is bullshit.
I have
Your
heard
CEO.
a whole lot worse in board meetings.
Fair enough. But but again, understand who you're speaking to first of all, and then understand place and time. Like if you are in a meeting and your CEO happens to be there, and he's the kind of guy who says, "You don't like it, go flip burgers." Maybe you don't tell him the emperor's not wearing clothes, but at certain times you need to be able to use your voice and say, "There's a big problem here, guys." I have been that voice a lot of times, and I've gotten some dirty looks. But at the end of the day, they understood that I was correct in the case, and it worked out well. Yeah. Understand who you're speaking to, understand place and time, but use your voice. You have to. And if you can do that appropriately, it will reflect in the correct ways.
I can't believe I won't say this. Can't believe I won't say this. The emperor wants to know that he doesn't wear clothes if you can give him a scapegoat.
Well, hey, and that's it. If you and you know what? Here's what it comes down to. I'll put it a different way. Not even a scapegoat. I think whenever
if you can offer him a place to save face and recover, he's going to take it.
Well, so that's true, but I'm going to word it in a different way. Whenever you never come to a superior at your job or a company. Never come to your superior with a problem without also having a solution.
Yes.
If there's something
Jesus
wrong.
Christ. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you. If you ever work for me, which all of you guys should at some point because I'm awesome.
I would never work for you, David. I would never work for you.
Actually.
I would work with you. I would never work for you.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to work for me. I am the boss that everybody wants. I don't. You go. You don't know my job. You're damn right. I don't know your job. I hired you to do your job. I didn't hire you so I could do your job. No, I want you to do your job. And if you find a thing out there that's hindering you or a roadblock or an obstacle, you come let me know. I'm going to go clear that roadblock. I'm going to let you do your job because that's my job. Okay, so you want to work for people like me.
Continue on with the problem with the solution.
What solution?
Never come. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but when you work for me, for the love of Pete, do not come to me with problems.
Unless you have a solution. Preferably 3 solutions.
Now, you may not know what the full solution is,
mm-hmm.
but you need to know that, hey, I don't know what's going to happen after this, but I know this is where I'm stopped and I can't get around it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've done. This is what I think can work, but I can't execute it.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I'm not going to question you. Literally, I'm not going to question you because there's no way for the people who work, that work for me, and there's no way that I can understand what you need to do. I don't want to. I really, really don't want to. I can't express that enough. I don't want to be the professional at what you do. I'm the professional at what I do, and I trust you to be the professional. So if you come to me and say, "Hey, David, I need a hole drilled in the Great Wall of China," I'm going to find a way to put a hole in the Great Wall of China. And then if I do that, I expect you to continue executing your role. But that's it. Like, hey, I've gotten here. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then you expect me to come to you and say, "Oh, I need to what you need is a hole in the Great Wall of China." I'm not going to do that. I need you to tell me. I don't have time for that. I got other people that are telling me, "Hey, I need you to contact the aliens that restack the pyramids." Right.
There you go.
I've got other things I'm doing. So it is huge from a person who has been in roles that have people report, having, a team of people that come to you with solutions. They may not be able to execute those solutions, but when they come to you with those solutions, it's the greatest thing in the world.
Right.
It really is. It is awesome.
Yes. Number
that
4.
Means you have an amazing team.
And that's it. So number 4 is use your voice. Don't be afraid to
Use
bring
your
up problems
voice.
to your boss, but never come to your boss with a problem without also having at
Yeah.
least one solution to that problem. I
Yeah.
prefer to have like multiple solutions lined up because chances are they're going to shoot down one or two of them. So come with if you bring up a problem, also have a solution ready, but use your voice. That's number 4. You need to use your voice. Number 5 is great time management. Man, time management. We could do a whole show just on time management. And I think we have in the past. I think we've done a couple.
Actually, we have. I mean, as you say that, like, I think we have actually done that.
Do you
So
need-
I don't know what happened. My company changed my background, and I used to have an image on my background that every place I went, they loved. They absolutely loved because it had oh dear Lord, I can't remember who it was. It was Teddy Roosevelt, I think, that said complaining about a problem without providing a solution is just called whining.
That sounds like a Teddy Roosevelt. He was a smart dude.
So when
Bull
people
moose
see my
himself.
background, when I do presentations, like before and after presentation, they see that, they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a Teddy Roosevelt thing." They're like, "Oh, that's really good. You show that to other people." I'm like, "Really? It's to remind me as I'm bitching about things before I take it to somebody. I need to make sure I have a solution. Otherwise, I'm just whining."
Yeah. So time management, David.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking that up before you moved on to time management.
This is not good time management. So
It's not good.
time
You
management.
moved on from use your voice over to time management too quickly. I couldn't do it.
So you need to be able to stay on tasks, David. Stay on tasks.
Yes.
And,
So
and use proper
is
time and self
one of
management.
it is one of my weaker things. Absolutely. I would say it's not necessarily. It is one of my weaker things.
Time management or staying on task.
I'm trying to defend
Or both.
myself. I'm trying to defend myself. Yes. I'm trying to defend myself here. It's not necessarily to have bad time management. It's just I view certain things of higher priority than, let's say, somebody else would. If it's an item, let's say a clerical task, that the only reason I'm doing it is so that Earl over here can go, "Yes, Dave, check that box." And all Earl's job is to say, "Hey, everybody check the box. We're good." Yeah, I'm not prioritizing.
Well, it sounds like you need an AI agent to do that job, and then Earl needs to be replaced with AI, and then eventually it'll be AIs talking to AIs.
Yeah. Earl could not. He doesn't have to be replaced with AI. He just the role doesn't need to exist. Elon Musk needs to come in and be like, "You know what? We don't need 80% of the workforce." Bye.
Ouch. All right, so.
And which is the guy that's pushing for was it minimum income? What's the
universal basic
minimum
income?
income or something? Yeah, basic income. That's it.
So great time management. If you don't have it, AI is going to take your job. Take our jobs.
Back to the pile.
All right, so
you know what? We actually might owe $1 or $2 to South Park for the amount of
references to take our jobs
and references that we give them. So just so you know, they'll take our job and back to the pile. That's also from
exactly.
South Park.
It's such a genius show. It's like the intelligence of that show is underrated.
It is. The time frame, their time management on that show is phenomenal. What's the time frame? I mean, we're talking
6 days. There was a documentary called 6 Days to Air, which talked about the production from concept through completed project is 6 days. And the documentary is great. It's hilarious, and it actually shows them in the writer's room developing the stuff. It's awesome.
So it shows you
time management in action.
The time management has to be very point on it, but it's also why that show is always relevant.
Yeah, totally.
Always relevant. I love that show. So my sense of humor is if you can make fun of one thing, you can make fun of all things.
And that should be the case. Dave Chappelle said something really similar, but it absolutely should be the case. So number 5, great time management, and
I love Dave Chappelle.
We're still working on that. Number 6 is enjoy learning from mistakes.
I do not have the star for time management. Like on the chart, like the teacher's like, "Oh, we're handing out stars today." I don't have the one for time.
No. But you do have the one for learning from your mistakes. You need to own your mistakes.
Jesus Christ.
And happily accept corrections or especially constructive criticism. So
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna add one before those. I'm gonna give you a 0.01 is make mistakes.
well, yeah. I mean, you miss every
Going to.
you miss every ball you don't swing at. It's something like that. I don't know the baseballs. It's something like that.
That was
You
funny.
miss.
As you started speaking, I'm like, oh my God, West is trying to use a sports analogy.
I'm trying to use a sports analogy. I said MVP
You
in the
miss
title
all
of
the
the show
shots
today.
you don't take.
I don't. You miss all the shots you don't take. You miss all the balls you don't swing at. I don't know. It's
You miss all the balls that Dave doesn't freeze in ice, right?
it's something like that. But it's true, right? You need to make mistakes and then learn from them. So
I've
I
talked about this here.
yeah.
Go ahead.
In the agenda, I put in all caps constructive criticism because I went to art school. I'm not a smart guy by any stretch of the imagination, so I went to art school, and there was every single piece that you bring in and you put up in front of the class, especially when you're a freshman, gets torn to pieces. We had one teacher who, I mean, he was notorious for every single class making at least one person cry. I mean, these people were brutal.
But what you need 6 times.
But what you need to understand is it's not personal. It's constructive criticism. If you can take it, don't personalize it, and say, okay, this is actually feedback that I can take, learn from, and then not make the same mistake next time. You learn from that mistake. It was a valuable mistake. Making mistakes is valuable. You need to go out there and screw up and learn from that mistake and enjoy learning from that mistake.
So, I used to have a person working for me, Mark, back in the day. And Mark.
Mark's a good guy.
He used to come to me. He is a great guy. Amazing. Better than either one of us. Jeez. Yeah.
Much better, yes.
Far better. He's a far better person than human
just
beings.
on a human level, he's much better than either one of us.
Yeah. On a human level, he's just like, yeah. He'll have to vouch for us when we're at the pearly gates.
He won't let us in. I know Mark better than that. He's not letting either of us in.
He's with us.
He's like, we don't want that riffraff up here.
It's the only shot we got, man. It's the only shot we got. Anyway, so this guy worked for me, and he used to be terrified to make mistakes. He's just like, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up. And I got to the point where I was like, I threw him out of my office. Dude, go screw up. Go make a mistake. I need you to go make a mistake. And he just looked at me dumbfounded. It's like, I could spend the next 5 years teaching you. Or you can go out there, some of the mistakes you're going to catch as you're doing it, you're going to correct them. You're automatically going to realize, oh, I need to fix that. And then you're going to make another mistake, and then you may need me. I'm not going to let you sink anything. I'm not going to let you get killed. I ain't worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't make a mistake. Like, don't come back till you screw up. Literally told one of my employees, don't come back till you screw up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're not allowed back in my office until
you're right,
you screw up.
Yeah, you're right.
And, owning the mistake, learning from the mistake, and I have a hard problem calling them mistakes. If you learn from an error,
mm-hmm.
I don't consider it a mistake.
And that's just it. Look, anybody, if you have never made a mistake, guess what? You've never really tried. That's what it comes down to.
Yes. Oh, I love looking up. This is the esoteric and the
you're looking up stoic quotes. Yeah, I knew you were looking up stoic quotes.
All right, I won't do it. Fine.
David's looking up stoicism. Oh, that Marcus Aurelius. You never get enough of him.
All right, crazy guy.
So number 6 was enjoy learning. I
like
from your
Seneca
mistakes.
the Younger better.
Pliny. Both the Plinies were great. So number 6 was learn from your mistakes. Number 7 is the last on the list. It is not Marcus Aurelius. It is always be hungry. And I am starving. I could totally go for pizza right now. But okay, you need to be passionate. Always be hungry. You need to be passionate about what you do. Here's the thing. You need to continue to be passionate about what you do, because no matter what it is, anywhere in life, if you want it more than the other guy, and you want it more, you're willing to work harder, try harder, be out there, do things the other person's not willing to do, 9 times out of 10, you will be able to accomplish anything that you want to do and come out on top. I forget who it was that was talking about, if you have 100 hours of performing any task, you can be in the top 5% of performers in the entire world, in the history of the world, if you just do 100 hours of this one thing over and over again. because it's true. And if you can maintain that passion, guess what? You can be at the top of your game no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. It's just a fact.
Yeah, I seen something like that on the Book of Faces and videos and whatnot. But I'm going to share a personal story of Dave.
Shelly
So
Webb says cheese bites. I'm all in. Shelly, if you got cheese, I am in.
I'm in. Where am I? I'm in Atlanta. And so in Central New York, or in New York General, there's no Culver's.
No Culver's?
And Culver's has
Culver's.
cheese curds.
Culver's.
Culver's. Yes.
The cheese curds. The cheese curds are delicious. Yes.
Cheese curds. Oh,
so we found David is passionate about cheese curds. But in your career, if you're passionate about
talk about passion. Anyway, talk about it. So I just changed. I got a newer role and doing whatever it is I do. And one of the things was, as I'm interviewing, the guy, I knew he was already sold on me. He was like, "This is my guy."
Yeah.
He already knew it. He knew it, that there was no chance in hell anyone else could do this job. He was like, if we don't hire this guy to do and elevate him up to run this, we're going to go bankrupt. I mean, that was in his head. It had to be. But he made a mistake of asking me, why should we hire you over the other candidates?
Yeah. What was your answer?
Passion.
That's it. That's it. And that's what it comes out to.
And I
think that's a perfect answer for that question.
Yes. I went into a nonstop 4-minute tirade. I mean, showing passion for what I do. And apparently it came back and they're like, you knocked it out of the park. Like, he talked to people about this. And it was this, and it all boiled down to the passion that you showed. I'm a very passionate man, as you guys can see.
Clearly.
Yes. I mean, you've been in hotel rooms with me. You know how passionate I am.
I mean, only for an hour to use the shower. but
no, it's when you get in there, and that passion, it cannot be understated how vital. I'm gonna use the word vital. How vital that is to success.
Right. And and you gave the perfect answer to that for a job interview. Why should we hire you over other candidates? Because I'm hungry. I want it more. Because I love it more. I want it more. I'm more passionate about it. And then explain why. And let them know through your voice, through your actions. Let them know why you're passionate. Let them know why you're hungry. Let them know why you want it more. And you're willing and able to work harder than the other guy. And 9 times out of 10, you can achieve that goal. Whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in the office. I mean, the trick, though, can be maintaining that passion over time, right? Like David, I know for a fact his passion, one of his passions, and it will always be life safety and that industry. And he is going to, and I know that about him. And that's one of the reasons why he's so good at what he does in this field that he's involved with. And when somebody is at that level, you can tell and you know it. And when they maintain that passion, they're always going to be at the top of that game. If you can maintain that, you will be the top player no matter where you are in life. Done. End of sentence. Period.
Yeah, it's it. It's so, looking back through them, I'm gonna walk back through these in reverse. Is always being hungry. I'm gonna amend that. Always be hungry / passionate. When you find that thing that when you find that person, all right, I'm gonna change little gears here. When you find that person that awakens something inside of you, do you let them go?
Well, right. Yeah,
no,
exactly.
You don't.
It's falling in love.
You're chasing you're engaged and you're empowered and you're enthused and you're excited and your other adjectives as well.
Well,
and you want to be successful in this. So that same thing can be applied into the business world. So be hungry / passionate, and then learning from your mistakes. Nobody goes through life. My buddy JD, who's a pastor, used to be my pastor in a church in Powell.
Yep,
he used to say this all the time. It's like there was only one perfect person. One.
I'm right here, David.
And we killed him. All right. So
That's true.
you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, and you need to own them. You need to take responsibility for them, and you need to learn from them. And once you learn from them, I would take it out of the mistake category, and it was a learning opportunity.
Well, that's
as
it.
long as you learned. If you made a mistake and you're like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, and don't look at mistakes and say it's a mistake. Like you said, it's a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not a mistake. It's a learning opportunity.
Great time management. I've got nothing to add here.
Yeah. No, you have nothing to add here. You're right.
There's no advice I can give you.
There's no advice David can give on this. You're right. Exactly.
Yes.
That was number 5. What's number 4?
So number 4 is using your voice.
Use your voice.
That is speaking up in any circumstances, any situation, understanding when you own the sphere, when you're in your sphere of influence, it doesn't matter. So let's say I'm talking about quantum mechanics. That is not my sphere of influence. I should probably sit in the corner and be quiet. I love it. I think
but you use your voice anyway.
And on this show where it doesn't matter. Yes. But let's say I'm in a room that is full of people that really get this. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to learn. And I'm going to soak up every single. The amount of notes I'm going to take is going to be absolutely insanity. But if I'm in a sphere, if I'm in something that's in life safety, right now my focus is lithium-ion battery safety. So if you start bringing that up, I'm not going to let you slip. I'm going to use my voice in that sphere. You're talking about life safety. I've got it. This is
right.
where I'm going to shine. This is where I'm going to be passionate. This is where all of that expertise is going to shine through. I'm going to use my voice. And I recommend that you use your voice as well. If it's marketing, use your voice. If it is an admin assistant, use your voice. If it is a quality controls expert, use your voice. If you are a teacher, absolutely use your voice. So that's, that was our number 4. Working back down to number 3 is being able to simplify complex things. And, I can take life safety. I can take those concepts and really boil them down to 1 + 1. All right. And I can do 1 + 1 and any combination of equation from ridiculously complex to 1 + 1. Wes can take some email marketing and customer loyalty program stuff and break it down to even I can understand it, which is saying something because it's not my world. I don't know anything about it, but that is his sphere there. And he is able to simplify that. So, go back to Albert Einstein and break those things down to where you can explain them simply.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't explain them simply, then you don't understand the subject matter well enough.
That's it.
As an amendment to that, I would say that one of the other things that I hold extremely true is if you really want to learn something, teach it.
Well, they do say those who can't do teach.
Find your gaps. Yes. Be a strong communicator. That is number 2 for us. Being a strong communicator doesn't mean you have to walk in and own and press your presence upon a room. You can speak softly and carry a big stick.
Well, be able to communicate.
Absolutely.
It's not about being the loudest person in the room or the person who speaks the most.
Not about being loud.
Actually, here's how I would say it. Go back and watch Mad Men. Okay, look at Don Draper during the pitch meetings. Whenever they have clients in the room, and Don Draper's pitching an idea or his team is pitching an idea, he's usually not the one who speaks the loudest. He's usually not the one who speaks the most. But when he speaks, it's impactful, right?
Yeah.
Going back to Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt said, "Here's the most famous quote: Speak softly, but carry a big stick." That doesn't necessarily mean go around carrying a hacksaw Jim Duggan 2x4. That literally means, look, when you don't need to yell.
We all just increased West's what the hell is the word I'm looking for? I'm not a good communicator right now.
I don't know where you're going.
What's the word I'm looking for? Respect. We all just increased West's respect level.
You just got more respect for me?
2.7.
You just got more respect for me?
You got more respect for me with the hacksaw Jim Duggan reference. Because, all right.
I'm
Okay,
full of
yeah.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan references. You have no idea. So you don't need to. You don't literally need to carry a big stick. What it means is you don't need to yell. You don't need to scream. But guess what? When you speak, it needs to mean something, and people around you
It needs to
need
matter,
to
and it
know.
needs to hit.
They need to know that you mean what you say, and they will take you seriously because of it.
The shortest real word. I mean, you can say things like which is an A, or O. Okay, but the biggest word is no. The simplest word is no.
Yeah.
And if you're in a room full of people that's saying all these things and all the blah 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 blah, hey, this is what we should do. This is what we should do. This is what you should do. And you're sitting there real super quiet. You've been introspective. You're really thinking the problem through, and you don't speak up a lot. But everything you do is, you're Midas, right? But when you touch it, you don't touch everything. But when you touch it, it's gold. If somebody comes in and says, "Hey, we should take in a lot of defaulting mortgages and build banks of them, and then we're going to swap them for other," and if you're in the room and you said no, if anybody gets that reference, congratulations. But something as simple as being able to say the word no.
Right.
And
in the right context,
saying the word no.
In the right context, that can totally be all the communication you need.
All you need, no. And everybody could just everybody. If you're the right person, not me. I can't do this. I talk way too damn much. I don't shut up. You guys know this. I talk a lot. So but when I need to make a case, I make the case. I'm concise. I use points, bullets, facts when I need to make a case. If I need to ramble, guess what? I have the gift to do so.
You may be able to do that. You may be able to do that.
You may have noticed. So it's when we talk about being a strong communicator, which is our number 2 point, it is not a finite box. It's not a box that says you need to be column A, column B, column C inside of this box, and that is what a good communicator is. Because different scenarios are going to take, and I said that on purpose, different scenarios are going to take different communication skills to break through. It could be something of breaking the ice. It could be closing a cell. It could be averting nuclear war. Who knows?
David, are you?
Understand?
No. I have a question. Are you suggesting with communication styles that sometimes people think outside the box?
No.
No. You said. No. I'm using your words.
No. I am saying that there's no finite box, that there is no finite box to say column A, column B, column C. This is what a good communicator is. I'm saying that sometimes you need to be over here, sometimes you need to be over there. Sometimes you need to be in one of these columns or inside of this box, depending on who you're speaking to and who you're trying to resonate with. But that's not always the case. Let's say I'm in a room full of people that are highly analytical. They want bullet point A, B, C, and drop down.
I love a bullet point.
Am I going to be an excellent communicator? Those people are going to effing hate me, because I'm going to scramble their brain and make it so hard for them to follow in some cases. In other times, I mean, I'm very analytical as well when I absolutely have to be. But my flippers have to be nailed to the floor to make me that way. I don't like it. It's not my natural world. But if you're in a spot that says, I need somebody to be abstract and I need them to be very fluid, the person that was very well over here is not going to do well over there. So it's a strong communicator is scenario based, and there is no finite box for it. So if you don't think you're a great communicator, you may just be speaking to the wrong group. You may be trying to take the wrong message to the message to the wrong group.
I think
Call me, I'll work you through it.
I'll play devil's advocate. I think you can communicate to anyone as long as you have the basic skills to understand how to communicate. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I think there's some
I'm
universal.
not going to devil's advocate you. I'm going to agree with you on that.
You're advocating for the devil's advocate. Okay.
No,
devil advocate.
I'm not. I'm not going to be a devil's advocate. I'm advocating that you could be correct.
Right. So you're
You could
advocating
be
the devil's
correct.
advocate. You're a double advocate. You're a double
Yes.
devil advocate. All right.
Sorry, what?
One
Who's
of those.
drinking how much and
It's
when?
basically a double negative. You don't not disagree with me. All right. So
So I don't.
so that was number two.
He's
Number
wrong.
two. Speaking of good
He's wrong, by the way.
communications. Speaking of good communications, that was number two. Number one, David. What's number one? Since we're going backwards in time.
Number one. Oh, shenanigans is don't lose your shit.
Yeah, control your emotions. Because we all want to, and look, some of us, it's really fun to lose your shit sometimes. It is. I love doing it. David's seen me do it several times. I'm really good at it. I'm really, really good at it. But you got to control your emotions, especially in the office place. You know what I mean?
I am one of those people that learned, and I was 18 years old. 18 years old at the time. When the story I told earlier about Fuddruckers breaking the thing, I was 18 years old. And that's how impactful that event was for me.
Mm-hmm.
There are times, okay, so with the exception of driving, because if my current wife is still watching, which she's probably not, I am not a good person when driving. I love.
I've been in cars with you. I've seen this.
I love driving. I love it. It is a pure pleasure for me. I like going around turns. I like being able to zone out on straightaways. I like driving 110 miles an hour on a freeway. I mean,
I've seen that too.
Effing road.
Yeah.
I love driving. The problem is they allow you idiots.
The problem is everybody else.
As well.
The problem isn't me. It's the problem is the rest of the world. I understand.
Yeah. So if all the rest of you guys during COVID,
wasn't it great driving during COVID? It was so great driving during COVID.
I was working. I was full-time employed, so it didn't impact me. I had a little bit of impact, but but most I had my office I went to. I was one of the only people there.
Driving during COVID was the best.
Entire office.
Yeah.
And then I would drive up and down the freeway and 120, 130 miles an hour in the vet.
Because there were no cops around either.
Yeah. They were all sitting at home.
Yeah.
Writing e-tickets to people going too fast on the internet. I don't know. But they weren't out on the freeway.
Internet speed's too fast.
And there was just nobody. There was nobody around. There was nobody to block the roads. There was nothing at all. And I love it. So when I'm driving, so I don't necessarily have, and it's something I work on. I struggle and I fail.
You're saying you get road rage. This is your really long-winded way of saying you get road rage.
I was really wanting to avoid a short saying of, well, I get road rage. And making it a long drawn out.
Well, we just talked about being a good communicator and being able to break down complex subjects into shorter, simpler subjects.
Yeah, and it's understanding when to do so and when not to. Something got and saying, well,
like using the phrase "less than optimal" instead of a shitty situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Less than optimal situation. But controlling your emotions, that's one of the things. So anything outside of driving, I have got a pretty tight control of. People make mistakes. Don't care. We're going to learn from it. We're going to come around from it. It may cost us a little bit here. We'll make it up over here. We'll find a way. It's not that big of a deal. Don't cut me off because I will be ready to burn your car. I mean, that's really the bottom line of it. If you have ever cut me off, I have dreamt of taking Drano balls and sending them down your gas tank. Okay. That's just all there is to it. So yeah.
Anyway,
keeping control of your emotions is a huge thing. West has red hair, so he has no shot at this one. I'm
really good at controlling my emotions. I'm really good at it. I'm also just really good at being a dick sometimes. It's a natural skill. I'm really good at it.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Caught David off guard with that one.
That was he did.
It's one of my talents is being a dick.
It's a gift.
What can I say? I'm a pro.
Ted, we got Ted DiBiase over here. Ted DiBiase. You're not ready for that level of WWE.
Before my time.
That was the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, by the way.
Yeah, nah. He was lame.
And his whole persona was to be a bad guy.
Well,
he
sure.
He was a thing there. So.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that's,
I
mean, that
Anyway.
is working back. We're talking about control your emotions, being a strong communicator, having the ability to simplify shit, use your voice, basically speak up, time management. Again, I can't add here. Okay, I am actually going to add to time management. I'm going to add to it.
Okay.
Everything works if you do it. I don't do it, so it doesn't work for me. But all these things like, hey,
Not everything works if you do it.
If you stick, yeah. Don't drink cred. Learn from your mistakes. Trust me, there are very few people out there who make more mistakes than I do. I am not afraid of screwing up at all, ever. Excuse me. I'm not afraid to be wrong. I want to be corrected. I don't get offended by being corrected. Go screw up.
Yeah.
One day you'll be as successful as I
Well,
am.
it's the only way to
drink
learn.
Bourbon on a podcast.
What's
and then always be hungry and be passionate.
That's it.
That's our. We went down, we went up, now we went back.
Back down again. So that's the main topic from last week. 3 times over. I think we hit it.
I think we did. I wanted to make sure because last week I'm the one who drug us off on the quantum entanglement. So
yeah, it was a fun show though.
I owed West a hey, stick to the topic as close as possible.
So now he's trying to make up for it.
So that's what I did.
I'm looking forward to it. So in 2 weeks, we're going to do the conspiracy theory show from Hofbrauhaus.
So next week, I've got some stuff to do in Buffalo. I don't know that I'm going to try to get back home. But if not, I might actually, seeing as how I have this new setup, I might get a battery and a little inverter, and I might give this a shot. If I can, give this a shot from close to Niagara Falls. I don't know.
That would be awesome. Do it from the falls.
We'll
do it from that little overhang over the falls there.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll take it, so I'll have to ask them.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Questions, but this is let's see where we are here. That was the number 2. Be a strong. Number 4. Use your voice.
Come on, you can do
be
this.
A strong communicator. If you guys know anything, I'm not afraid to ask people if we can do weird shit.
You are the one who says, "Where there's a Dave, there's a way."
Where there's a Dave, there's a way.
You've said that to me many times.
The one thing, yeah, and most of the time it's true.
So we're running on 50-50 right now. It's better than nothing though. It depends on the day. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
my son is texting me stuff on Facebook now.
Is he asking for more taco money?
No, he's not. So he's got a job and he out earns his mom. He makes more money than Nikki does.
Nice.
So he does not
make that kid start paying rent.
Money. No. So I'm very adamant not to do that. So what I said is like the day you start thinking about moving out, I'm going to start charging you rent, but it's not going to go to me. I'm going to put it in a fund.
I was literally just going to say, here's what you do. You start making him pay rent now, and then you don't keep it. You put it in that fund, and you don't tell him about it.
So I would actually just make him open up a Robin. Actually, he has a Robinhood account. I would just make him investment. I would say, all right, every month if you're going to pay $600 a month to live with some roommates, you need to put $600 a month in investments.
That's it. That's it.
I've got a guy that actually I wouldn't make him do Robinhood. I've got a guy that does investments. And
right. Yeah. Actually, put the money someplace.
Yeah, someplace there. Oh my God. NVIDIA. Have you guys seen? Okay, so I sold NVIDIA like a month and a half ago, and
Why would you sell NVIDIA? Of all the stocks,
we were doing the change. And
do I sell my NVIDIA or do I sell my Dogecoin? I don't know which one I keep.
So I actually still have Dogecoin.
But I still have my Dogecoin too. It's not doing well. It's not doing well.
No. So it was the period when we were we're doing the investment space, which I still have not started by.
You haven't done that? I did that a long time ago.
I know, but I'm looking for the things, and it was another thing. So I was trying to set up a whole nother account.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute, you already have an account. So that's been a whole thing. And my account got locked because I tried to start another account.
Yeah, don't start multiple accounts, David.
I know. I know that now.
All right.
I know that now.
I can't imagine why they would lock my accounts. I'm trying to start 5. I don't know why they would think
Well,
that's
I just
weird.
wanted another one to run just that was so that it was in a control basically away from everything else I've done and everything else I have. So I had to sell a lot of things to clear the account so I could just say, all right, this account reflects only these trades based upon the
So you
things
sold
that we talked
Nvidia?
about. So I sold Nvidia.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So I bought more
Learn from
Nvidia
that
today,
mistake.
which it's up high. But just so you guys know, Nvidia is slated to split 10-1
Yeah.
or 1-10 on like June 6th or June 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's $1,000 a share right now. It's over. I don't even know what it is right now, but earlier today it was trading over $1,000 a share.
Yeah.
So
Nvidia
it's
is
going to drop down to
huge.
100 shares. But if you buy one share, then you'll have 10 shares
Mm-hmm.
at $100 and let it build back up. So
Right. And that's what
Nvidia
people
with the
need to
computing
understand. When it
power,
splits, you're not
yeah,
your share didn't just multiply by 10. It was divided by 10 across 10 different shares now. But
across
those
10
10 different
shares,
shares
yeah,
are going to continue to each build.
continue to grow
Right.
up. So you're not
Exactly.
going to make 1-1. You're going to make 10-1 on
Oh,
your
speaking of
money.
which, did you hear GameStop? Remember that whole thing? GameStop is actually making a
Mhm.
comeback from the same dude who did it last time.
Yeah, again.
Again. That's
Again.
hilarious. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie? They made a movie about it. It's on Hulu.
The Big Short, or
Big,
something like that.
it's on Hulu. It's kind of a B level movie. It's not super high production, but it's really good.
Eh,
It's about we talked about it. It's about RIM and
Yeah.
Research in Motion. They did the
Research
Raspberry.
Emotion, which is no, not Raspberry, BlackBerry.
BlackBerry, yeah, and basically you don't want a job with RIM, but it's about the rise of the company. And no, I'm sorry, that's a different movie. I'm getting my two movies mixed up.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute.
Why does
This is talking about
holy
the Big
moly?
Short, where
Wow, learn from
some
my mistakes. So yeah,
big
there's one
players.
about the GameStop thing, and there's a second one about BlackBerry.
Yeah,
Crap.
the BlackBerry.
They're both great
Yeah.
movies. I recommend go watch both of them. Don't listen to me because I've had too much Christmas beer apparently. Delicious
Dude,
12 Dogs of Christmas.
do you see how freaking low that thing is?
Well, it's not mead, but come on, what is?
So I ordered mead. My brother comes back to me and says, I'm in bed.
Of course. It's 10 o'clock,
Come
David.
on, man. Is it 10 o'clock?
It's only 10 o'clock.
All right, more Georgian tacos to come. Let's make it happen.
Hey, what weird strip clubs you go to is your business. I don't need to know. So,
Dude, I haven't been to a strip club since I went to a strip club with you.
that was we're not going to go into those stories. That was an interesting time.
No. There's the more recent one. I mean, when I say recent, within the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Right?
You're not talking about the funny one?
No, not that one. I was there at that time too.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That was hilarious. But the last time was pretty funny too, as I'm chasing the guy around the car.
Oh, I forgot about I actually completely forgot about that one. Yeah, you're right. That was pretty funny.
That was a goat.
That was I genuinely thought
oh my Lord.
I genuinely thought that guy was not going to make it home alive. That's as much as I'll say on
we followed him all the way. He's like, I didn't know it was you. Like, that's why we told you to ride with me, man.
That was rough, man. Anyway, all right. With that, we got to sign off. I've been Wes. This guy's been David, and we've been sharing stories that probably shouldn't be told online. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
infatuated with the in-between, the ups, the downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funkin' in the city, funkin' up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funkin' in the city, funkin' up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. Funkin' in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin'